Hi, this is Chase Utley, and this is the Phillies Show. Amaro Jr., Jim Smutley, Ruben Amaro Jr., Jim Salisbury, Todd's Look. It's the Phillies Show. It's Monday, September 7th, 2025. Hope everybody is doing well. Trea Turner left Sunday's series finale in Miami in the 7th inning with a strained left hamstring. He will have an MRI on Monday in Philadelphia. And we mention this because it's Trea Turner, because the NL Wildcard Series is 22 days away. The NL Division Series is 26 days away. It's time for the Parks first pitch. First pitch is brought to us exclusively by our partners at Parks Casino, Pennsylvania's #1 casino. Ruben looking sharp today. Trea Turner, strained right hamstring, 7th inning, immediately leaves the game. I mean, he just ran down the first baseline, immediately goes in the dugout. No hesitation, no let me stretch it out, nothing. MRI exam on Monday. Guys, I'm no doctor, but this is not good news. This is bad news, potentially bad news for the Phillies, depending on how long how much time Trea Turner misses. What do you guys think? Do you have any hunches? Do you have any sense of anything, Ruben?
I'll just tell you, I'm hopeful that it's just a grabbing. He talked about it just being a grabbing, and you hope it's just tweaked. And you're hoping it's, it's a couple of weeks and he can get loose and get ready to go. Even so, regardless of whether it's 2 weeks or 4 weeks, if he comes back earlier, he has been in such a great rhythm. The fact that you may not get the same sort of player when he comes back, because number one, that speed factor may be a real issue, may not be able to, run the bases the way he has been running them. He may not have the same rhythm at the plate that he's had because he's been phenomenal. He's playing at an MVP type level right now. And everything about this is not good. I'm not trying to go gloom and doom, but the reality of it is this: the man's hurt, and it's, you're hopeful that he comes back and plays, but he's been playing on levels defensively and offensively so high that it's going to be a big blow to the team, much like it was a big blow when they lost Zach Wheeler. But that doesn't mean the team can't be resilient and bounce back. And they have some quality players to be able to fill in the gaps there, particularly Edmundo Sosa, who's an outstanding shortstop himself. And they're going to have to rely on, again, more than 26 players to be, a champion. And hopefully he'll be back soon enough so they can get back in the rhythm and play good baseball.
Yeah, another big test for this team. I mean, they lost, as Ruben mentioned, Zach Wheeler was going to be a top 3 finisher in the Cy Young. Now you're losing a guy who's probably going to be a top 8 guy in the MVP balloting. Very, very significant losses. Thing that really concerns me is, even before we hear the severity of it, when he came back from a similar injury last year, which was a grade 2. So we don't know what the grade is on this strain, but came back from a strain last year and just wasn't the same guy. Never looked like he was full throttle the rest of the way. Always looked like he didn't trust it. And, that's a problem for a legs player, even if he's deemed healthy enough to play. Does he feel confident and comfortable enough letting it all out at a time of year when you have to let it all out, coming down the stretch here as October comes? So team has showed remarkable resilience in the last few years with the guys they've lost. Wheeler, Harper, Realmuto for stretches, Turner for a stretch, Schwarber for a stretch, and always seem to play through it. But I do believe in the next man up thing, and it's a nice thing to say, but I think it has limits. And this is a big test now, losing Wheeler and Turner. I think the thing you have to hope for is it's just not too severe, and that he can come back quickly and get it back, get everything back, get his sharpness back, and his confidence in being aggressive on those legs before the month of October.
When I was watching Turner talk yesterday, Ruben, you mentioned he felt a quote grabbing, and Jim, I immediately thought of you because you've asked this question a million times. You always ask to these players when something like this happens, did you feel a pop? Did you feel a pop? You always ask that question. Yeah. I feel like he said grabbing. He said he didn't feel a pop.
That's
So
because
maybe
I've been there
you did. You blew out once, right?
and it popped.
Yeah, it popped.
It's
And
and,
so
and, these guys are pro athletes, and they're a lot more acceleration. They're gonna have a more severe pop.
right. So maybe this is on the more minor side. The fact that it grabbed, it didn't pop. But of course, we'll find out with the MRI. Jim, you mentioned the injury last year to Turner. He spent 43 days on the injured list last season from May 4th to June 16th, strained left hamstring. And yeah, when he came back, he wasn't running full speed. Rob was keeping him off his feet a lot. There was some days that he didn't play. I remember there was a game I think it was in Seattle, where Schwarber was on base late, maybe in the 9th inning. Turner was on the bench. Turner did not pinch run in that game. Just kind of protect him, keep him off his feet. So yeah, you have to absolutely worry about that stuff. So I'm going to ask you guys this. In agreement, Edmundo Sosa is the shortstop. Bryson Stott becomes the everyday second baseman. They had this really great platoon going in second base. That's how it's going to go. You don't see any other way that this thing works out over the next few weeks, however much time Trey misses.
Yeah, I see that. Bigger question's the batting order, right, Ruben?
Yeah, I think Schwarber jumps to the top of their lineup. I think that's the easiest, smoothest move for them, and you may end up having, depending on whether it's a right-hander or a left-handed starter, you may have Harper go in the 1-2 hole. Believe it or not. If there is a right-handed starter, you might have a right-hander who slides in there. Maybe it's Bohm. Perhaps it's Bohm and then Harper. But, there's a domino effect to this. There's, it's not just about, losing Trea Turner, who's a tremendous talent. It's about now putting the heat on and the pressure on the lineup. Now, is it more ready to handle this? I believe that it is, because of the production of some of the guys in the bottom of the lineup. Because Bryson Stott's been swinging the bat well from against lefties and righties as of late, and it's just going to put a little bit more of a test on the boys.
Hey, that was First Pitch. It was presented exclusively by our partners at Parks Casino, Pennsylvania's #1 casino. ParksCasino.com is the website. You must be 21, and if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
We are longtime fans of Omaha Steaks, and I am drooling looking at the website right now, featuring USDA certified tender steaks, and also during their Red Hot Sale event going on right now this fall, 50% off site-wide at omahasteaks.com. Plus, for the FT fam, an extra $35 off with promo code FOUL at checkout. You've been a big fan of Omaha Steaks since your early days as a pro.
Brings me back to my low A-ball days, because we used to survive on this. We get a big order at the beginning of the year, cook them on our little electric grill, a can of peas, some mac and cheese. That was dinner for 4. We survived off Omaha Steaks. It still has a special place in my heart.
You thrived.
Well,
you guys ate like kings.
Yeah.
That's special. Get fired up for fall grilling with Omaha Steaks. Visit omahasteaks.com for 50% off site-wide during their Red Hot Sale event. And for an extra $35 off, promo code FOUL at checkout. 50% off at omahasteaks.com and an extra $35 off with promo code FOUL at checkout. See site for details. Dig in.
We are back. It is Monday, and it is time for Manco and Manco Best Week. Manco and Manco Best Week, because Manco is the best of the best. It's where we pick our best Phillies player, play, performance, whatever we want to do every Monday, every first episode of the week. Guys, who wants to lead us off for Manco Best Week?
I'll lead us off. And I'm going to go
Ruben.
with Marsh, man. He is the best of the week. This man has turned it on like nobody's business. He came back from being in Lehigh Valley. He had an unbelievable quote after one of the games when I was broadcasting over the weekend. And he talked a lot. It was a great question from Scott Fransky, who asked him, we talked about, I asked him what approach, what does he change in his approach? What has happened? And he just talked about, being more confident in the box, being more athletic, sort of the standard answers. And he said that, he also talked to some people about just, the mental part of the game, emotional part of the game. And then Fransky asked him, hey, So who were those people? And he came up with Garrett Stubbs, and it was a really cool moment. Garrett Stubbs is one of the guys that is not just an emotional leader. He understands the game. There's all types of things. He also understands the player and the person. And some of the discussions he had down there with him apparently helped him a lot. And from that point on, this man has been outstanding. I think he's hit over 300. I don't know what his OPS is. I wish I had the numbers in front of me. I don't. But all I know is right now he is swinging the bat with authority from the left side against righties and lefties. He's confident. He's driving the ball the opposite way. He's doing the things exactly what we thought. I think Dombrowski thought and what the organization thought he would be when they traded Logan O'Hoppe for him. And he's being that guy. He's I think the fact that also sounds weird because I think it's the same for Kepler, that he's playing more left field. That is like more of his position. He's more comfortable out there. I think the responsibility of being in center field is it's a lot for him. And he has to work at that position a little bit more. He's feeling more comfortable in left. He is playing some center from time to time, but that's okay. And I just think his overall game, he's feeling confident about himself and just doing his thing because he's a very good athlete and he's letting himself be athletic. He is the best, the Manco best of the week for me.
That's a great choice. Great choice. And you make so many good points. Number one, Garrett Stubbs. I mean, he's a contributor. He wasn't here all year, but he's a contributor in so many ways. He's got such a good head on his shoulders, such a good attitude. I don't know where his future is when he's done playing way down the road. I don't know if it's in the broadcast booth or in player development, but it will be somewhere and he will have an impact. And that anecdote about helping Marsh is a great one. And it takes time to judge trades. You're right about it. It takes time to judge trades. This trade is now looking better, and that's a sigh of relief for everybody who scouted the guy, who wanted Marsh. You got a player, you got a contributor. It looks good. What were you going to say, Ruben?
I was just going to say I think Garrett Stubbs got a chance, and I think that if you would poke the manager right now, he's got a really good chance to be a major league manager at some point. In his career. He's going
to do something in the game. He's smart. He's instinctive. Excellent communicator. He's got personality.
He's a really, really good person.
Personality. He's a solid guy. So we're all in agreement on that. But Marsh, a great selection. My selection, I'm going to go out of the box a little bit, as sometimes I like to do, and I'm going to give a slice of the Manco best of the week to Aiden Miller. What a second half he had at Reading, Double-A Reading, and he's still one of the youngest players in that league, like 2 years younger than the average age. And I love that every year he gets stronger as the season goes on. As a 21-year-old in Double-A, he's played a good shortstop. He's over 800 OPS, and he's stolen 53 bases. 53 bases. Just earned a promotion to Triple-A. He's going to finish out in Triple-A. And I just think he's had a hell of a season. And hell of a 2 seasons here for the Phillies, and all of a sudden now with him and Crawford, it's hard to get your own position players to the big leagues. And they got 2 guys who are going to be knocking on the door here in a real hurry next year in Aiden Miller and Crawford. So he'd be my Manco best of the week. He's having a great finish up there, and he's going to finish in Lehigh.
Which poses the question: does he come to the big leagues now that the other guy's down? So I don't think
you brought that up.
I do not know. I know it's a question that people are going to have. I've gotten it on social media. He has been spectacular. I know Larry Ball believes him in as a shortstop. He's developed in leaps and bounds. He's a really young player, but he's playing his best baseball right now. Do you bring this guy to the big leagues and make him the everyday shortstop with the protection of having Emilio Sosa there, or do you just chill and you bring up Otto Kemp, or you bring up a speed guy in Johan Rojas? I'm not sure. It's quite the decision. It's a good problem to have, and I'm really fascinated to see what happens in the next.
Tough call.
Aiden Miller, his last 28 games, he's batting .358, .478 on base percentage, .633 slugging percentage. I mean, it's something that I'm glad you brought it up because, I probably think that it won't happen, but I don't know. It's the fact that we're even asking that question tells us kind of how much he's progressed, and it says that Jim made an excellent call.
No, I feel like it's a total long shot. I'd kind of be very reluctant to throw him into that cauldron. But Ruben, these are the decisions you had to make not long ago. What would you do in this one?
I would have to know the makeup of the kid a little bit better. I think he's a gamer. I don't think he'd scare. It was a little bit like bringing Kevin Stocker to the big leagues. Now, he was in AAA, and he was more of a glove, more of a very, very advanced glove. They had Juan Bell or somebody playing shortstop, and even Mariano Duncan. They knew they couldn't have him play shortstop when they came up in '93.
Stocker was a college kid.
Obviously a little different situation, but they did bring a young man to the big leagues when he started to get hot a little bit in Lehigh. It wasn't Lehigh Valley, Scranton, because I was his teammate. I watched him start to progress. First half, he had a terrible first half, and Kevin Stocker will tell you this. Offensively, I mean, he was beside himself. I've talked to him a lot about it. And then in the second half, he played really well. And then all of a sudden, he was in the big leagues for the 1993 team and making plays and hitting 300. I don't know. To me, it's whether or not they feel that he can make the routine play and make the adjustments at the major league level at the position. It's not necessarily about his offense. It's at the position. It will be interesting to see how they feel about this development. It's a great problem to have. You love the fact that it's a great call on your Manco to Manco best of the week, Jimmy.
Well, you know what? Another reason why I would consider it is the second base platoon of Sosa and Stott has been so good.
Yeah.
You bring if they would do it again. We all seem to think it's a long shot, but I bring him up. I hit him ninth. I say, listen, just go out and catch the ball. Don't worry about your offense. We got 8 studs and hit in front of you. Just go out and catch the ball. If you contribute offensively, great. We just need you to go out and catch the ball because Stott he's been much improved.
Yeah.
His righty lefty splits are pronounced. 745 OPS against righties, 530 against lefties. Same exact thing for Edmundo Sosa, 886 OPS versus lefties, 591 OPS versus righties. I would love to keep that platoon together. It doesn't look like it's going to happen, but there you go. Something to think about. So my Manco best week are the folks behind the scenes on the Phillies and the Marlins who helped right a wrong with that fan, that boy in the stands on Saturday night in Miami. Harrison Bader, brought him down and outside the Phillies clubhouse. Harrison Bader autographed a bat for the kid on his birthday. So we all, everybody's been talked about that in depth, but sometimes you got to give a shout out to the people behind the scenes who make these things happen. And I thought that was a really cool moment for that fan. And so
that was great.
Yeah. So Harrison Bader, being involved in that, of course, signing that bat was great. But
he's also swinging it pretty darn good.
Well, so I wanted to ask this as well, kind of dovetailing off that. Ruben, you said if Turner misses time, you could see Schwarber hitting leadoff, and I don't disagree with you. But I'm wondering, what about this? What about against a right-handed pitcher? You have Bryson Stott hit leadoff, keep Schwarber where he is, Harper where he is, and then against lefties, you have Harrison Bader lead off. Now, Harrison Bader has not led off. Harrison Bader has led off in his career 14 times in his entire career. He's a bottom third guy mostly in his career. But he has a 380 on base percentage since he has joined the Phillies. I believe I'm right on that. Harrison Bader. He hasn't let off a lot in his career. But point being, what about that idea? Having Bader hit leadoff would work, right? Maybe.
I think it's a great idea. I think it's a terrific idea, and it lines everybody back up. The guys have. I think it's terrific, and I think that you're going to get Topper's going to think outside the box. I got to give a lot of love to Topper for making the adjustment and actually going with the platoon in right field. He doesn't want to call it a platoon; they want to call it a rotation. And I want to talk about that as well. And I wanted to talk about this as an honorable mention as well. Great idea, Todd, regarding Bader and the people that were involved in that whole situation. the traveling party for the Phillies. And I will, as a caveat, Miami Marlins folks to take care of that kid as well. That was big. I know it was a tough situation for a lot of people, but I think they righted it wrong there in a lot of ways. But I love the fact that that Topper's done what he's done as well. I mean, it's sort of a side topic, but he has now said, "Hey, listen, we got to put the best players out there. We got to figure out a way to get that done." And those outfielders are producing. Kepler, Bader, and Marsh. And I got to get a lot of love to Topper for having the cojones to make that move at this particular time. It's tough to do what he's done with the Nick Castellanos situation.
Yeah, you called it a side topic, Ruben. I would call it a major topic.
It is a bit. Well, yeah. I mean,
they're getting production out of that outfield now, and hey, Max Kepler was, they were greasing the skids for him to leave town at the trade deadline, and Rob's managing of personalities and people. Kepler has, he stayed on the roster, and he's given you some really good contributions.
And maybe one of the best quotes of the year. He had one of the best answers to a question at post game. And I told him, and I tapped him on his shoulder when we were back in the hotel lobby. I said, "Dude, that was the best answer I've ever seen or heard from any player. It was the most honest. It was the coolest. The fact that they had gathered together and talked about this difficult situation, very honest. He said he struggled to be a platoon player, which is a tough thing to do after being a 10-year everyday player, and now put in this position to be a platoon guy. It's an adjustment, mentally, emotionally, physically, all of it, preparing the whole 9 yards. And for them to have gotten together as a group, and in some ways he probably may have made it happen.
He might have
to have been discussed this and try to move forward with one goal in mind, to hoist the trophy. That's a really, really immature thing. I know this Manco best is a long one, but it's important that we bring up some of the best things that happened over the course of this week.
And that's the right word. You said the right word, mature. Sure. He shows maturity in the way he handles adversity. He's shown it all year. Even when he was booed, he showed a lot of maturity in saying that's the fans' language of love. The guy's intelligent and he's mature. And, I know the year hasn't gone the way he wanted to, but he's having his moments. So he should be proud of that.
It's not how you start, it's how you finish, baby. And
you go out and win a World Series as a platoon player in right field for the Phillies, you're going to get paid next year. So if you're thinking about that as well, great. That was a great Manco best week. NFL just finished its first season, our first week, I should say. A lot of great games. I fell asleep before the Sunday night game, Baltimore, Buffalo. So I missed that. Jim told me before the show, he's like, "What a finish for that game." I'm like, that game was a blowout, Jim. He's like, no. Buffalo came back and won that game. So a lot of great games the first week. You got that. Major League Baseball postseason coming up soon. Man, great time to stop by Parks Casino.
No doubt. Pro football, the regular season is upon us. It is here, and the Birds are back, baby, with their 1-0 with a big W. But there is a full slate of games upon us. They're playing that Kansas City team on Sunday. You can bet more than the score. You can bet passing and rushing yards, player touchdowns, so much more. My team at the Bet Parks Online Sportsbook and Casino has you covered with everything you want to do as far as making bets and having fun there. From Bet Parks, the only online sportsbook app that I would ever recommend. You can also do some serious Bet Parks app work as well. Plus, check out the concerts, comedy, and more at the state-of-the-art Excite Center. And do not forget that there's an amazing collection of award-winning restaurants right there at Parks. It's the Parks Grill Steakhouse, Bamboo Noodle House, and the Liberty Bell Gastropub and Beer Garden. Parks Casino, this is how you win. ParksCasino.com for tickets to all shows. You must be 21. Gambling problem, 1-800-GAMBLER. Where there's always a way to win at Bet Parks. Must be 21 PA, New Jersey, Maryland, and Michigan. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
So Todd,
to mention this.
I was going to tell you that
ahead,
that Buffalo-Baltimore finish last night.
Yeah.
It was one of two great finishes on Sunday. Rory McIlroy, Eagles
Oh.
18 to
Oh, I
force a playoff in the Irish Open. Eagles 18 to force a playoff and wins it on the third overtime hole. It was
No way.
really good stuff.
What a year for
That
Rory,
is
huh?
awesome. That is awesome. I missed that as well. Come on.
Oh, it was
That's
great. It was
unbelievable.
on nice and early, because of the time difference, and great,
That's awesome. Very cool.
beautiful
fantastic.
course too.
While we were doing Manco, I forgot to mention that we have another giveaway for a Manco gift card. All you have to do is follow the Philly Show at the Philly Show on Instagram, and you can win a Manco gift card. We've been giving them away one a month all season long. The August winner, I just dropped that one in the mail the other day, so congratulations. Again, follow the Philly Show on Instagram for a chance to win a Manco gift card. All right, guys, so let's wrap this up here. Big series this week, Citizens Bank Park, 4-game series, Phillies-Mets, Monday night. I mean, there's so much intrigue with this pitching matchup on Monday. We have Aaron Nola, who's trying to get it figured out, avoid that first inning bugaboo, against Nolan McLean, who just ate up the Phillies. He's been eating up everybody so far in his first few starts with the Mets. Tuesday, you got Ranger Suarez against Sean Manaea, who's been struggling. Wednesday is Christopher Sanchez versus Clay Holmes. And then Thursday night in the series finale, you have Jesus Luzardo against David Peterson. So there you go. That's the pitching matchup. A couple weeks ago, guys, the Phillies woke up with a 7-game lead in the National League East. The Mets cleaned their clocks at Citi Field, whittled it down to 4. Everybody's freaking out. But this morning they wake up with a 7-game lead in the National League East. So it's amazing. The Phillies can really kind of bury the Mets and just end any minute chance they have to coming back and winning this division with even just a split this week would take care of it. What are your thoughts on Phillies, Mets, and the Redemption Series?
A lot of intrigue, man, because they've lost Turner. They don't have Wheeler. It's going to be really interesting. I'd like to see the Phillies kind of flip that mojo a little bit. It's obvious that the Mets are very confident about how they play the Phillies and when they play them. But the starting pitching has been really good for the Phillies. And, they're going to have to make some adjustments. The question is Aiden Miller going to be hitting in a 9-hole when the series starts? Or are you going to have Edmundo Sosa there hitting in the 9-hole and playing shortstop? That's the question I have.
I think the general manager has made his decision.
It's kind of cool. I love it.
So, Todd, you said the Phillies can bury the Mets. The Mets have buried themselves. They have that great sweep of the Phillies, and then they sub 500 in the next 2 weeks, and the Phillies are significantly over 500, huh?
You're right.
They dominate.
Yeah, the Phillies are 7-3 since that sweep.
And what are the Mets?
Yeah, you're right. No, the Phillies are 7-3 since that sweep, and the Mets I think are 4-6. So
yeah, so there you go.
The Mets have problems, man. That's true. Kodai Senga got optioned to AAA. He's struggling so much. Ryan Helsley, who is one of their big trade deadline acquisitions, he has been terrible since the trade. He's got an ERA. His last 10 appearances over 16. Can you imagine? I mean, Joan Duran is. Yeah. Oh, the Mets got Joan Duran. The Phillies got. Who knows what would have happened if Helsley came to the Phillies instead? But boy, that trade has really worked out well for the Phillies. But you're right, Jim. The Mets have kind of buried themselves.
Yeah,
they had the Phillies in their sights.
I believe that the Phillies win 1 game out of 4, and they're in good shape. When you think about it, they win 1 game, they come out of there, they're 5 games up.
And they've played the Mets better in Citizens Bank Park than they have at Citi Field.
Much better.
So I was kind of on the same thought process. It's a 4-game series. It's tough to win a 4-game series. I'll take 2 and good night.
So the more important thing about this series is not necessarily them playing the Mets. It's about Aaron Nola. Aaron Nola is the biggest question mark that they have because they're playing in the playoffs. They're making the playoffs. It's happening. And can they rely on a right-hander in their rotation? Can they rely on somebody from the right side? Right now, not sure if Walker Buehler can be that guy. He might be able to get a couple outs. I don't know. They're working on that. He's going to get a chance to pitch here soon. I don't think they can rely on Taijuan Walker. And can they rely on the guy that has to sort of step up is Aaron Nola, and we will find out a lot about him here this evening.
It's an intriguing pitching matchup tonight.
Fun.
I mean, that young guy they faced, he blew him away last time. And I mean, the way he cuts it, he sinks it, and then when he feels like it, he's 96 up in the zone. He's amazing, and Nola he's got to pitch well. You're right,
no doubt.
He's very, very good. That was a lot of fun, guys. Yeah, he's got to pitch well. And it's super, super important for so many different reasons. Guys, that was a lot of fun. We will be back later this week to talk more Phillies-Mets.
Smell you later, boys.
Bye, Jim.
The Philly Show is brought to you by the Foul Territory Network. Subscribe to The Philly Show on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts.